Hello and welcome to the Sports Tank Rundown here on Sports Tank's YouTube channel. It's me back again, Ewan Campbell with Kwame. Kwame, how are you, my friend? Good week?
Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad. Been tired, been around. Had the weekend off, not watching any games, not attending any games, and not commentating on any games, but just enjoying the return to Premier League football, and of course the stress that is the NFL that grips us every Sunday up until about the new year. So I guess you could say it's been a good week.
Yeah, good to hear. Obviously, Sports Tank, we were supposed to have a stream at the weekend. Unfortunately, pesky groundsman apparently managed to call the game off for everyone over at Royal Holloway Bears against Chichester Spitfires. Yeah, apparently the refs were happy to play, but the groundsman called it off, said it's not going ahead.
I heard about that one. I heard about that. I read about it and I saw it, and my first reaction was, "What the like?" I have no idea.
Hey, shout out to all the groundsmen out there looking after those grass pitches. It's hard in the winter. You know, we get tough winters in the UK, and a lot of rain and stuff, and kills the pitches. So I can't blame him for wanting to look after his pitch. We don't know the full circumstances, but so let's not hate on him too much. But unfortunate for the guys not be able to get a game in a live stream for any Sport Tank viewers out there as well. Okay, let's start
pitches.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start where we always start, in the National Premiership. So we had two games over the weekend. First of all, last week, Kwame, I asked you, is it a 3-horse race in the National Prem? You said to me, it's 2.5 and Durham are the half. Uwe won this one 28-17 at home. So just the 9 points in it. We both took Uwe. Yeah, we both took Uwe Bullets in this game. Is it you still saying it's a 2.5 horse race? Is it 3? Is it gone down to 2?
I think, do you know what? It's the 9-point difference makes it look more like 2 3/4 of a race.
Okay.
Because I don't think I expected, I'll be honest, I don't think I expected Durham to keep it to less than 9 points. I did sort of think that Uwe would maybe run away with it towards the end. But to see it, again, it's a game that I didn't watch. I don't know who scored in what order. It could have been garbage time scores. Uwe could have had their last string guys out there. They could have had their starters out there. I don't know personally until somebody tells me, right? But 9 points full time is quite impressive. To my understanding, at least, it is quite impressive, because most teams, to my memory, most teams go to Uwe or host Uwe and just roll over and let them put on 10, 11, 12, 15 scores. So it's impressive. I mean, you're only giving up, 3, 4 scores, and then, of course, putting up 2.5 yourself is it's not too bad. So props to Durham for that.
Yeah, Durham's first loss of the season takes them to 2-1 overall. Uwe go to 3-1, still behind Nottingham at the moment, but positive win for Uwe, back on the roller. Good to see from them. Loughborough Leeds Beckett was the other game in the National Prem this week. Loughborough getting this one just over the line, 9-3. Game for defense, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, either that or horrible offense. And given both teams are Prem, I would assume that they're not horrible offense. So I'd like to think good defense versus good defense. Only 1 touchdown in it. 6-pointer. Leeds Beckett, if they had the ball at the end, definitely would have thought, we can go down the field, score, win it with an extra point. Again, it could have been a last-minute score that won it for Loughborough. So again, it's another game I need to see. But Again, good showing from Loughborough. Leeds Beckett will probably be biting their fingernails at this moment, thinking, how are we going to stay in this division?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and it led me to kind of think and ask a few questions about the national prem as an idea, and about, is it delivering on what it was expected to do when it was brought in 18 months ago? Obviously, we had the restructuring of the National League, and we've now got three teams at the top, seemingly well clear of the other two, which was the exact same problem that we had in the Prem North previously. So I'm wondering whether, you know, has the National League, in your perspective, actually done what it was supposed to do in the first place, would be my question.
I would say yes, because previously you had that with the National North. Obviously, UE were a couple above everybody else in the Prem South. Prem North had sort of what, 3, 4 guys above everybody else. But now when you put them together, it means that guys from the North and the South can improve. You know, we say hypothetically, for example, Brunel being favourites in Div 1, people will mention they'll go up to Prem, the National Prem, and be able to compete. Or, you know, the top team in the Prem North will be able to go up and compete, or something along those lines, you know. And I think that, combined with the whole promotion, relegation, gulag game, whatever you want to call it, I think it helps. Because let's say, for example, Leeds Beckett go down this year. Whoever goes up, whether that's Brunel, SGS, NTU, Warwick, Northumbria, whoever it is that goes up will have to beat Leeds Beckett. Now, if you can beat them and prove that you belong in that division, then great, go up. Now you've got to prove itself against the other teams, the Loughboroughs, your Durhams, your Nottinghams, your UEs. But you have to be able to beat the weakest team in the division to do that. Now, if you can't do that, then you don't deserve to take the place of Leeds Beckett in this instance, because if you're not better than them, how would you then have a better opportunity to beat the better teams? So I do think it's something that it's going to be a bit of a sticky situation for the bottom teams until they get replaced by teams who can compete, or until they themselves can compete. Obviously, Leeds Beckett lost a lot of players and a lot of coaches and everything. They're probably in rebuild mode, right? In order for them to compete with the other teams, they'll need to completely rebuild their entire roster, and that's like any team coming up from Div 1, from the regional prems. If you go up to the national prem, you're gonna have your work cut up. You're gonna have your work cut out. So I think it's good that they've brought in the national prem, because it elevates levels and it makes sure that people aren't just changing divisions just for having one bad season. Same in senior ball as well. And I like the whole pro rail game because of that.
Yeah, I respect your opinion and your shouts on that, but I honestly I couldn't disagree more, because it just feels to me like the problem has just been shifted. Of the main thing with the national prem, to me, the reasons behind it felt like, well, it was to put the most competitive teams together and to stop having these massive score games where teams are just getting blown out all the time. And it feels like that we've got three teams, and even if SGS or Brunel go up, or one of the teams from the north, be it Warwick, NTU, I feel like it will be just the status quo, where they're the teams in the bottom, and if they don't have the same sort of resources, they just won't be able to compete. But is what it is in terms of that one. You picked Loughborough. We both picked Loughborough to win. They managed to get the win, which was positive for them. Looking ahead to next week, UE back at home on the Saturday against Loughborough. Who have you got for that one?
Do you know what? I'm gonna go with the Loughborough up now. I'm joking. I'll go with UE. Yeah, I'll go with UE. I've just dropped my PlayStation on the floor, so don't know what's happened there, but yeah, I'll go with UE.
Okay, I'm going to take UE as well. And then looking to the other game on the Sunday, Nottingham Gold against Leeds Beckett. Who are you taking in that one?
I'll go Nottingham Gold.
Yep,
Give me Nottingham Gold to get the job done.
Yeah, I think Nottingham Gold will be getting that win as well. They're currently 3-0 at the top of the division, looking to go 4-0. So yeah, that's all the fixtures for next week in the National Prem. Let's have a look now at the Prem North. Now, Prem North, over the weekend, we had two games in the Prem North. We had Northumbria Mustangs against Newcastle. You took Northumbria in this one. I took Newcastle. We were both split on this, and the result proved it. 17-14. Northumbria won. So Northumbria go to 2-2 with 4 games played. Newcastle go to 1-1. Northumbria after Northumbria after 2 losses, managing to get over the line and get a win against Newcastle. What are your thoughts on that one?
Turning it around is good for their season. I mean, nobody wants to go 0-3. I've been 0-3 before as a player, and the difference between being 1-2 and 0-3, which I have been both, is that win. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but that win there really does change your momentum. As someone wants to mention, Cobra is the biggest club in.
Oh yes, and Adam Eckhart are the biggest D lineman on the Cobras as well. So, biggest shout out to Adam, great player. Like we said, it's looking like a really sort of tight division in the Prem North at the moment. Every team's lost a game at the moment. Leeds are the only one that haven't won yet, only having played 2 games, however. But yeah, close game, and that leads us on to our second game in the Prem North at the weekend. Battle at the top. It was Warwick against NTU. Warwick, who got the 1-score win earlier on in the season over NTU, but NTU got their revenge this time at Warwick's home ground. Warwick 6, NTU 13. I took NTU in this one. I had a feeling they might get over the win. You took Warwick. Easy to pick the favourite.
It's easy to pick when you have no idea of anything, any players, any coaches, anything with the teams, and you're just picking because one of them sounds nicer than the other one, or rolls off the tongue, or I went to one place and someone cut me off in traffic, so I'm not picking that team because the place is, I just
got to do back. I was there doing my background research. Well, we played Warwick last year, and NTU. I don't know. I just felt like I spoke with one of the guys from NTU at the start of the season, Ben Gardner, I think his name was, and I don't know. I just had a feeling that NTU were going to be. He was fairly confident that they were going to be a team to sort of battle with this year, and it looks like it's going to be that way for the rest of the season. They've obviously both played each other twice now, so it will be what both teams can do and who can get the most points, I guess, against the or who can get the most wins against the rest of the division.
Yeah, I mean, my only knowledge of the 2 teams was obviously I went to Butts Park some point last season to watch them, and it was the 1-point game. I think it ended. The final score was 6-7, of course. I just had to do that. But yeah, that was the game, and honestly, that's the only time I've seen either team play. So I'm kind of still going off those vibes, really. That's in the sense that I can't really pick anyone between the 2 teams because to me they're both very, very close.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. Let's have a look at the games for next week then. So we've got NTU at Leeds 0-2, Nottingham Trent 3-1. Who have you got in that one?
Sorry, say that again. NTU are 1-2. Did you say?
NTU are 2-1.
2-1, and Leeds are hosting Leeds.
Leeds are 0-2. Leeds are hosting 0-2.
Leeds are hosting 0-2. Be a tough one, but based on the NTU seem like they're on a bit of a roll after last week. I mean, you won't want to. I don't see them beating Warwick, who between the 2 of them are probably the favourites, or at least up there. I don't see them beating Warwick away and then losing to Leeds, who haven't won yet.
No.
I just don't see it happening, so I'll go with NTU. I mean, I might be proven wrong. I've been wrong a few times this week, so
it would be a big upset, and good luck to Leeds in their chasing of an upset. But I'm going to take NTU in this one as well. Warwick, who were beaten obviously at home by NTU this week, go away to Newcastle next week. Bit of a trek up to Newcastle for Warwick. Jeesh. 4 o'clock kickoff though, so they've done them nice. They might get back a bit late for their lectures on Monday morning, but Warwick away at Newcastle. What do you think about that one?
I mean, a late kickoff isn't necessarily all bad because obviously on a Saturday, some people, well, depending on how seriously they take their program, some of them will stay up late. You'll get a line on Sunday, you'll be good. So I don't really think Sunday late kickoff is that bad. If it was an early kickoff, it'd be a bit more of a problem. But
That's got to be at least a 4-hour journey. That
just based on the fact that the journey is so long, I feel like the northern journeys are all longer than the southern journeys as well.
Yeah,
I can't imagine a team going 4 hours. I mean, even UEA, they don't have to go 4 hours to go to Birmingham, do they?
UEA. No, I think from about 3.5. I imagine 3 hours, if that.
And we've seen how long those journeys are. I feel like I really would. If it was a home game for Trent, I'd go Trent. But I feel like Newcastle or Warwick. Sorry, not Warwick. If it was a home game for Warwick, I'd go Warwick. But I feel like the away, the 4 hours travel might be a bit of a. There we are, 3.5 hours. Thank you, Gary. Thanks, Gary. I'm going to go with Newcastle, but a very tight game, possibly a dodgy one as well. I don't know who the referees are going to be or anything, so let me not speculate. But yeah, I'll go. What's the other team called? Newcastle.
Newcastle. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. All right. Thanks, Gary, for that. We'll get on to UEA later on, who played at Birmingham actually this weekend. But yeah, I'm gonna take Warwick in this one. Warwick were the 1 seed last year, 7-1. It was a close loss to Nottingham Trent. I think those two teams are the best two teams in the division. I think they've shown that in those sort of in those games already. So I'm going to take Warwick in this one. Okay, let's now go to the Prem South. We just had the one game in the Prem South at the weekend. Exeter. Oh, okay. A few years back, UEA in the Prem had UE, Swansea, and Cardiff by coach. These were 6 hours each way. Yes. Well, actually, I did UE to UEA when we played them twice, and I did Cardiff to UEA when I got injured on UEA's pitch. So it is a long way. It is a long old way to go, and it's UEA have to do the same journey going back the other way as well. So yeah, that was definitely a time where that's probably one of the positives of the National League is that the teams with less resources aren't being asked to do these really long trips in the Prem that we had before in the Prem South.
Definitely, yes.
Although if
you, it was tough.
Yeah, but if you, I'm talking rubbish because if UEA get promoted, they're still going to be in the Prem South.
I mean, yeah, but the Prem South is not the same as the full. No, I mean, if they were in the National Prem, it would be tough because you have to go to UE. You have to go to Nottingham's not too far because it's relatively central. Yeah, you've got Durham, which is all the way up, bloody flipping up somewhere up wherever.
Northeast, yeah.
And then who are the other teams? Loughborough and Leeds. They're not too far away. Nottingham to Loughborough is not entirely that long a journey. But, in that previous division, you had obviously UE, Swansea and Cardiff are all close to each other, or realistically, reasonably close to each other. And then you had Birmingham, which was out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
Prem South, the president of Exeter in the past, it's just an hour past UE, yeah.
That is a long journey. Yeah, well, let's talk about Exeter, actually. Exeter 6, Cardiff Cobras 24 over the weekend. You took Exeter in this one after they scored 20 points against the Brunel Burners.
Yeah, reluctantly.
I took the Cobras, obviously. And the Cobras got it done. Fairly convincing win in the end. Defense held really, really strong on this game for the Cobras and scored with the first offensive play from scrimmage of the game, actually. So really good kick return early on from our wide receiver and kick returner Mark Kosgei. This guy's Kwame. I gotta get you the film of this guy's kick returns. They are unbelievable. He's not rushing. He's so patient, waits for the blocks, and just honestly, every time SGS, when they came to Cardiff, they were basically when they were kicking off, they were kicking it along the ground. So the guys in our further forward in our kick return team, because they didn't want him to get the ball. They were giving us Mate, they were giving
So,
us
like,
20
keeping it away
yards,
from-
and respect to SGS because it worked. It stopped us getting these potential returns. He scored touchdowns from kick returns, punt returns before. This guy is a joke on these punt returns, honestly. And off kickoff, he got us 50, 60 yards down the field. One play from our quarterback this week, standing quarterback Sam Harvey, who absolute baller wide receiver. He's gone to quarterback and he's led the team to a win in his first start. It's really positive times at Cardiff at the moment, and it shows that we're able to get wins across the line even when things aren't going our way. And we've shown that we are, a team to be reckoned with in this division. We can put points on any team really. One last shout out actually. Ollie Price, running back, we brought in from Southampton Stags, South Wales Warriors. I think he's got 4 touchdowns already this season. He's not the biggest back, but he runs hard. He's a north-south sort of runner, and yeah, got two touchdowns at the weekend, one receiving, rushing. Hell of a running back to bring team, and we've got a really good unit there in the running back room. So yeah, positive win for the Cobras. Anything to add?
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to show me that film. I will be at least 1 or 2 of the Cardiff Cobras games, or at least endeavour to be, because I need to see some of that footage. But I mean, from what you said about SGS not kicking to that returner, I mean, it's a no-brainer. If someone's that good, you do whatever you can to not let that person get the ball in their hands. Just like if the other team has an amazing cornerback, you don't throw their way.
Yeah.
Right? If they have an amazing defensive end, edge rusher, you don't run the ball that way because you just don't get the same success. If there's nothing you can do to stop them, you just have to make sure that they don't get the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
Same reason why best receivers get double covered and all sorts. So I'm not surprised that they're not kicking the ball to him. In fact, it's probably what I would expect based on what you've said. But I would like to see this talent that this guy has. I would like to see it because I mean, you've sold it to someone's that entertaining to watch. Yeah,
he's in the GB setup as well. And the problem being at the moment for teams playing Cardiff is you can't double cover him because you've got a 6'5" receiver in Oliver Luck who plays for the Aztecs as on threats all across the field, and you've also got
Luck previously at the Bobcats? Am I right in saying that was someone else?
No, but honestly, we've got some really, really good receivers in that room. Seb Saldanoso as well, and Harvey obviously going to quarterback now, and still a threat. Cosgrove actually scored the first touchdown with a catch as well after he got that big return. He got the catch on the first play from scrimmage as well. So shout out to Mark Cosgrove. Let's look at the fixtures now for next week in Prem South. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, our boys face off again.
Is that us again?
It's us again. It is.
It was crazy. I didn't even know because there's another game one that's being broadcast, and I had my eyes on that one. I didn't even realize that our boys are playing each other, so that would be an interesting one.
Yeah. So it's Brunel away at Cardiff next week. Who is your money on in that one, Kwame?
Do we have to tell everyone who our predictions are going to be? I think it's quite obvious that
I think. Well, I'm going to pick Cardiff. We did have a tough loss against Brunel earlier on in the season. We've changed a few things, and I think it will be. Put it this way, I don't think it will be the same scoreline that it was last time.
I don't know what the score was. It was something.
It was something along the lines of 50-7. A lot. To be fair,
yes.
They got up early and rotated guys. We basically put our backups in the fourth quarter and conceded 2 touchdowns in that time. I think when the game's gone at that point, it's just about getting guys reps. So I can understand why we did that and stuff. But I think it made it look like a bigger scoreline than it actually was. But of course, I am going to say that.
This is interesting. We got something for the burners. Unfortunately, I won't be at the game, but I would love to see it. But yeah, this will be an interesting game. I do think, based on obviously the previous games that have gone, if Cardiff are able to get the first score, it'll be a very interesting game. There's nothing. I mean, as a former player, as a fan as well, so there's going to be bias. I'm not going to lie to everyone. There's going to be bias when it comes to predictions. I'm always going to predict my old boys Brunel to win, right?
Yeah.
At least until we get the national prem. If we're up against like UE week 1, then I'll say, okay, predict them to win, right? But
yeah,
I do think, obviously, because Exeter got the first score, managed to put 3 scores in the bonus. I don't know. Again, I missed the stream as I was at a Cali competition. I missed it. But they put a few scores up. I saw the scores as they were going through. And of course, that score meant they didn't give up. Burners have been letting in scores in like the 3rd and 4th quarter quite a bit, sort of letting. Their first half defense has been very good. I think they've only let in the 1 score in the first half. But it's very similar defensively. It's quite similar to like, again, this is really, really, really reaching. But you see, like in the Premier League, you see Arsenal when they score first, you kind of just have that confidence that you're going to cruise throughout the rest of the game.
You could have said any team, and of course you went Arsenal. Like you're the first team to ever do that.
Or like, for example, let's say Chelsea 20 years ago when they were really good at defending, right?
Man City.
Just certain teams, right? Or that year when Liverpool went crazy, right? The point is, there are some teams that score first, and you just have that belief they're just going to go all the way. You just know it. They're going to go all the way. They're going to win the game. They won't have any problems. And I feel like with the Burners, it's very much like that for them right now. Mm-hmm. That if they get that first score, it's only a matter of time until the second one, the third, and the fourth one comes. Whereas if the other team gets the first score, they might have that confidence of we can really try to hold them. Because I in previous years have seen games where the Burners gone to the playoffs, undefeated in the regular season, gone in, let up the first score, completely shit the bed, lost the game. Obviously, different players, different coaches, no scholarships, nothing. The old tough years where we would recruit guys off the corner who just about made it into uni, and they would play for our team, and they would play they'll play their hearts out, but they only just about got the grades to get in. It's like now the team is in a better place, and I think a lot of teams, there's quite a few teams in Uniball like this. Once they get that first score, you kind of just have the confidence for them to go all the way. I feel like the 2 big boys in the Prem are like that as well. Maybe not when they play against each other, but I do think there's very few teams in Uniball right now where if they get that first score.
Sorry, who are the 2 big boys?
UE and Nottingham.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about in the Prem South. I was about to go crazy. Okay.
Cardiff, wasn't it?
Okay. So you're taking Brunel. I'm taking the tricky snakes, the Cardiff Cobras, of course. And David's right. We'll have something ready for the Burners, good, bad, or indifferent. We'll give them something. We'll give them something new to look at. Other game in the Prem South is the rematch of Portsmouth against SGS. So first game was down Langston down in Portsmouth, and Portsmouth lost that 19-0 to the SGS Pride. This one over in Bristol, Filton, confident for another SGS win?
I think it will be a formality given the other season's gone. They went to Portsmouth and won comfortably, relatively comfortably. They didn't really come out of like thought it was 2nd, 3rd gear from what I heard. They took care of the other teams they faced for the most part. Obviously it wasn't pretty against Cardiff. The Brunel game has been the closest game. They've run Brunel the closest in terms of scoreline. They took care of Exeter as well. So I feel like SGS don't really have any other issues in the division apart from Brunel. I feel like they will get through the rest of their games relatively straightforward. There will be hiccups here and there. Teams will challenge them, but I do think that they'll have too much for Portsmouth.
Okay. I am going to go the other way on this one. I was quite impressed with how Portsmouth came back from basically losing 3 on the spin against Brunel, SGS, and Cardiff to then get a really important win against Exeter. I'm sensing an upset. I really am. I know you know what? I know it's a bit far fetched, and I really should hate Portsmouth being from Southampton. And most of the time I do, but there's just something about Portsmouth that makes me feel like they're gonna pull something off in this game. I feel like they changed something against Exeter, and SGS have been solid without being their normal sort of explosive selves. You know what? They're a bit they've got a bit Chiefsy about them, where they're sort of they were blowing teams out the water, and then slowly and slowly you've sort of gone into this period where teams are actually capable of beating them now, and that's where I think we are with the FCS Pride, where they've lost the game this year already, and I think they'll lose another game to a team that's not Brunel, and I think it could be this one against Portsmouth. So SGS, have had a lot of injuries as well. I just feel an upset coming. I'm probably gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna call an upset on that one.
We'll find out on Sunday. But the thing that really shocked me with SGS last time I saw them was the size of their squad. It was so small.
Yeah.
The fact that Brunel can travel 2 hours down the road, and genuinely, I think there were at least 20 more players on the Brunel side. Like, it was quite scary, considering I've seen SGS play before. I've seen film of them play in previous years. I've seen live streams, and I've never seen. Again, I might be wrong because I've not seen every game that they've played. But every single time I've watched them, I've never seen a sideline that small for SGS.
Yeah.
It was quite alarming.
Yeah, and it might be after a bye week. It might be really, really strong for this week. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, let's have a look over at the Scottish Division 1 as we make our way down the leagues. Heriot Watt against Aberdeen was postponed. Aberdeen have actually only played one game this season somehow. And they're on because they had a walkover as well. So they've only played one at the moment and lost it. So that's 2 postponements I think they've had now. So unfortunately they weren't able to. Heriot Watt 1 and 4. Played a lot of games, Heriot Watt. Okay, let's have a look at the other game in the division, which was Glasgow against Edinburgh. That's Napier, Edinburgh Napier. No, it wasn't. The fixtures haven't been updated yet. But it was 20-all anyway between Glasgow and Edinburgh. We both picked Edinburgh on this one. Obviously, a tie, no one gets any points. I was wondering, would you like to see overtime brought into Uniball?
I don't know, because, I mean, on one side, yes, because nobody really wants to see ties. But at the same time, is there really enough time for it? Because Uniball is in the winter. It gets dark around 4 o'clock. If a game kicks off and it goes to overtime, what the hell? Is there gonna be enough time to play overtime?
I think that's it. I think it's the pitch hire as well, isn't it? A lot of the time. So
Yeah,
you're probably right on that one. That's a shut and cold case then, but it was a nice topic to talk about for 20 seconds.
Done and dusted.
Okay. Let's make our way down the divisions in. Let's have a look at the Northwestern to start with. So Northwestern at the weekend we had. Sorry, let me just have a look at the. So we had Liverpool against Edge Hill. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Was that in the? Sorry, let me just check. The problem is, right, I'm on Bucks Play this week, and all of the things, it doesn't actually say the team names. It just says what university they are. Let me just have a look inside. Okay.
It's the worst.
Sorry, boys. So the Northern 1 division, we'll start with that first of all. So we had Edge Hill Vikings against Liverpool Raptors, Edge Hill 0, Liverpool 12. We both took Liverpool in that one.
Yes. Yeah, we did. No surprises there, I guess.
Yeah, Liverpool, who I predicted for a long time to get a win, finally they managed to get a win this time. So happy for them, because I feel like it's been coming. Basically, it's been coming, and it took a while, but they finally got their first win of the season. Go to 1 and 3. Edge Hill go to 0 and 3. The other game in that division at the weekend was MMU Manchester Met, Eagles, who won last week. Go to 2-2 after their loss 26-0 to Lancashire Rams, who are absolutely storming the division. 4-0, 141 points difference. They haven't conceded a point yet this season.
Who's this?
Lancashire Rams.
Impressive. Are they the
Have
ones
not-
with they've got a bunch of Manchester Titans guys in their coaching staff, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah. Based on that, I'm not surprised. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
really impressive. That's really impressive for them.
4 games, not conceded a point. Yeah, shout out to the Rams. That's crazy going.
I don't think anyone else has a defense that good so far in the country.
No, and looking forward to next week. They're playing again. They're playing at home to Liverpool Raptors. Who are you taking in that one, Kwame?
I'll take the team that hasn't given up any points yet.
Yeah, I think that's probably a smart decision. I think I'll join you on that one as well.
Do you know what I would like to see? And I know this is a bit off topic, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Is Uniball Cup. I would love to see a Uniball Cup. All teams in Uniball, North and South, Prem, National Prem, Div 1, Div 2, everyone, everyone's invited.
Like the FA Cup.
Yeah.
That'd be class.
Amazing. Obviously, nobody wants to see UE Bullets put 600 points on the team at the bottom of Div 2, but I mean, a cup
you know what?
There's a chance for a cup upset.
No. National Prem, the top 3 teams in the National Prem aren't allowed to play.
I'll tell you what, you have to have a combined team. If you have A team and B team, you have to have a combined team, right?
No. Okay, so if you've got 2 teams, you've got to play the second team. So UE2s, they are the representative for your university, and Nottingham Green no. But I like that. That would be great. I would love to.
For regional purposes. For regional purposes, let's make A teams and B teams have to play against each other. So for the first round, it would have to be gold versus green and bullets versus bullets 2s, and then the rest of the tournament is just free for all.
Hey, I would love to see it. I'd love to have to go to. I'd love like Plymouth Blitz having to travel to Newcastle or something to play a game, and they've got to have like a 9-hour coach journey or something. But no, that would be fun. It probably wouldn't happen, but it's a nice pipe dream.
I think it was the year before, or like one of the 2-3 years before I joined Brunel, they had a playoff game where they had to go all the way up to flipping Scotland.
Yeah,
because they used to do that back in the day, didn't
they? Yeah.
They used to do that back in the day. Obviously, now since it's gone all regional, you'll never have a Div 2 team go up north. But I would love to see, even if they had it like standard FA Cup, where first round is all just the Div 2 teams, then the Div 1 teams come in, then the Prem team. If it was like that, and you had,
it's still possible.
I don't know, Plymouth and someone in Div 2 against someone in Div 2 on the other side of the country. Interesting games. There'd be some interesting games.
It's still possible, because if one of the Scottish teams gets promoted to the Prem North, then in the playoffs the teams from the Prem South have to play the Prem North. So it could happen. It just hasn't happened recently.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look then. Going on to the next fixtures that we had in. So it was we still got a fixture, Manchester against Manchester in the northern tier.
Okay, give me Manchester.
Yeah. Yeah, who's your money on for that one?
Manchester.
You're taking Manchester.
Well, it's going to be Manchester or Manchester. I'm taking Manchester. Give me, what is it? Manchester Met away against Manchester Tyrants?
Yeah, Manchester Tyrants are at home. Manchester Tyrants are currently 2-1. Manchester Met are 2-2.
Something tells me to go for Manchester Met.
Okay.
I have no footballing reasonings for this or anything. I'm just purely picking because I have to pick someone.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go. You're going to go Manchester Met. I'll go Tyrants, although I do like the Met. We didn't actually pick in the Scottish division Edinburgh Mavericks against Stirling Klansmen. Do you want to just give me a pick for that quickly?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go Stirling. I got former teammates that used to play for Stirling. I'll go Stirling.
Okay. I'll go Edinburgh Mavericks in that one. And then the other game in the Scottish First Division is Edinburgh Napier Knights against Aberdeen Bulls. Aberdeen obviously had another game postponed this weekend. Who are you taking in that one, Kwame?
I'll go Napier. I
Yeah,
think
I'll
Napier
take
are quite strong.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll take Napier in that one as well. Okay, so we can move down the divisions now to look at the Midlands division. Nottingham Green with a massive 46 win away at Derby Braves. Pretty strong win for the Green. Again, Green have been on a good roll so far this season, would you say?
Yeah, I also wouldn't expect. I never really previously expected the B teams of teams to do that well because I always used to think, well, all the information, all the effort and everything is going to go straight into the A team, right?
Yeah.
But the twos and the
3-0.
green, do we have to call them the twos? The
Nah,
twos and the
well,
green,
I
they're
don't call
really
them.
impressive. They're impressing me this year.
Yeah, I'll call them I'll call them the twos. Who do you mean the twos? Yui twos.
UE twos, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
could swear they used to have another name.
the
Somebody called them
pellets.
pellets. Somebody called them
Yeah.
pellets, and I thought that was a
No, that
brilliant
was
name.
it was a running joke, but they were never actually officially called the pellets. I don't think Yui twos. But yeah, Nottingham Green are 3-0 at the top of the Midlands and Yorkshire division. Derby go to 1-2 after that result. The other game in that division was Sheffield Sabres against Leicester Longhorns. Sabres won 32-6 after they lost 50-0 last week. To turn it around and score 32 points and only concede 6 is not bad at all from the Sabres.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah, and let's have a look at the games ahead of next week. Well, it is actually the two teams that won this week. It's Nottingham Green against Sheffield Sabres next week, Kwame. Nottingham Green have scored 100 points in 3 games this year and only conceded 16.
Impressive. Have you got the stats?
Sheffield 75 points scored, but 77 conceded.
Oh my. Yeah, give me Nottingham.
Yeah,
I think even before you said that, I was thinking Nottingham for this one. Yeah, it just feels like one of those.
Yeah, that's fair enough as well. And they haven't actually played each other yet this season either. So still got 2 games to play each other. So this one and then the other one as well. So nothing to go on so far. So you're taking Nottingham. You're taking Nottingham in this one?
Yeah, I'll take Nottingham.
Yeah, I'll take Nottingham as well. And then in the other game, it is Leicester Longhorns who lost this weekend against Sheffield Hallam Warriors. Sheffield Hallam are 1-1. Leicester, unfortunately, 0-4 at the moment.
Give me Sheffield.
Are you going Hallam or are you going Leicester?
I'll go Hallam because once you're 0-4,
yeah,
it's going to be 0-5. It's going to be 0-5.
Yeah, it's only scored 20 points so far in 4 games, Leicester. So offense having a bit of trouble there at the moment. But yeah, I'll go Hallam as well on that one. So now we go into the Southern West Division, probably one of my favourite divisions. We've got Bath Killer Bees putting up a really strong fight against the Bournemouth Bobcats. We both took Bobcats, but they only won by 5 points in the end, but still maintain their position at the top of the division. Any thoughts on this one, Kwame?
I think only winning by 5 points would be more of a shock or a surprise. To Bournemouth, they would have definitely expected to win by more. Especially given how last season went, they pretty much cakewalked everybody until the final, which was always going to be a tough game. Whoever won it was always going to be, well, whoever didn't win, was always going to feel like they deserved to win and be the favourites to go up the next year.
Yeah.
So I also do think that if Bournemouth had gone up, they would be doing pretty well in the Prem South right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be 4-0 the same as Brunel are, but they would definitely have at least 2-3 wins under their belt. And I think that they have the potential to do that if they, keep their shit together. I wouldn't say get their shit together because they've already got their shit together. But if everything stays together, Fernandez almost scored. If everything stays together, then they should be able to should be able to sort of mount a real push for the playoffs in the Prem South. So, I mean, they've been good for years. It's no surprise that they're winning all their games.
Yeah, 171 points scored in 5 games, 5-0. Pretty strong offensively. Bournemouth Bobcats, obviously second in the division because they did have 7 points deducted. So Bristol are technically top, and that leads us on to our other game in the southwestern tier, and it was Bristol Barracuda won 14-0. Another shutout for the Barracuda against Plymouth Blitz. We both took Bristol in this one. Just carefully getting on with their business. Bristol not scoring loads of points on offense. They've only actually scored 29 points so far, but putting up a few good defensive performances.
Yeah, I mean they're doing pretty well. So there's a red card. I just got sidetracked there, but yeah, they're doing they're doing all right, to be fair, and really sort of pushing, going about their business. Everyone's sort of looking at the other team I mentioned just a minute ago, Bournemouth. Everyone's looking at them, thinking about them. No one's really thinking about the other teams, because they're just, for a lot of people, they're an afterthought, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the pressure, all the focus is on obviously Bournemouth, and the other teams are sort of just going about quietly about their business. I don't know what on earth just happened. They just started fighting and they got sent off.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, so Bristol are 2-2 now. The only 2 games against the Bobcats. They've got basically free run at the Stags, the Blitz, and the Killer Bees, and the rest of that division. Looking ahead to next week, it is Plymouth Blitz against Bath Killer Bees. Who have you got in that one?
Give me Bath Killer Bees. Give me Bath Killer Bees.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Bath as well. They got a bit unlucky this weekend. Close game against the Bobcats, so I'm going to take Bath in that one. And then Barracuda against Southampton Stags, which is a bit of a grudge match, this one.
Yeah, I mean, I would be thinking Stags, but I feel like they've played already. And I know Barracuda have caused a few upsets already this season. Is Barracuda at home?
Barracuda are at home. Yeah, the first game was 7-0 to Bristol Barracuda.
I was going to say I'll go with Barracuda winning this one again.
Yeah, I think
it'll be a tight one, but I feel like.
Sorry, did you get cut off?
Yeah. No, we went quiet for a second.
You stopped mid-sentence. Okay. I'm gonna take Barracuda as well in this one. Okay, let's have a look to the other fixtures that we had. So we've got the Southern Division, just the one game. It was Birmingham Lions. We spoke last week about the Birmingham Lions and said how after a tough period, unfortunately, UEA would be the team that you want to play, and it looked like it was that way. Birmingham 36, UEA 2. We both took Brum in this one. Birmingham getting back on track now, it looks like.
Yeah, I would say so. I think they're slowly easing into it. I mean, they've had a couple of shit games. They lost to who did they lose to? They lost to Oxford Brooks.
Yeah, they lost to Oxford. Let's have a look here. So they lost.
They beat Hertfordshire by 1 point, didn't they?
Yeah, so they're 2-1. They're 2-1. They've only lost to Oxford Brooks in Explosion.
And that was obviously big, quite an emphatic loss, I'll be real. And I think that would be enough it could be enough to derail someone's season, but clearly they've got past it. You know, they've obviously managed to adjust from losing that game and get a big win under their belt. So they'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and they've got Hertfordshire Hurricanes at home this weekend, so another home game for the Lions. Hertfordshire 2-1, Birmingham 2-1. Who are you taking in this one?
Hertfordshire's only loss being against Birmingham. I think they'll go 2-2. I don't think. Well, it was a tight game before. That's the thing. I don't know.
So the game before, the game before was 15-14. Yeah, one point game.
This is really tough because Birmingham beat Hertfordshire. Hertfordshire beat Oxford Brooks, and Brooks beat Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be another tie. It's going to be another 1 score, maybe 3 point game. I think Birmingham might just squeeze it.
I'm gonna go Birmingham on this one as
Just
well.
about. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Hertfordshire do win, but I think Birmingham maybe just about will have it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look now at the Southeastern Division. Bit of a turn up for the books in this top of the table clash between Kent Falcons and Brighton Panthers. Kent won 24-0 in this one. Bit of a surprise to you?
Yes, very big surprise. Well, not as big a surprise as I was about to say. I'm surprised because I think I did pick Brighton.
Yeah, we both
But
did.
I'm actually not surprised in that sense.
No, I picked Kent. You big idiots. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Kent have only. Hey, Kent have only. Hey, there's some great defenses. There's some great defenses in this league because Kent have only conceded 12 points in 4 games. Brighton have only 24. King's College haven't conceded a point in 2 games. So
Now, how many points has each team scored? You'll find that
they're all plus 60. They're all plus 60. So they've been scoring points, just not against each other really. All right, let's have a look at the fixtures now going into the Southeastern for next week. So it is Kent Falcons at home to KCL, King's College. Who do you like in that one?
Kent Falcons are home to King's College. Give me Kent Falcons.
Yeah, I'll take Kent Falcons as well. And then the other game in the division is Kingston Cougars at home to UCL Emperors. Kingston at 0-3, UCL 0-3. Someone's O has got to go. Who do you like?
Honestly,
bear in mind, I'll give you.
I wish they could both lose. I'll pick them both.
Before you say anything, right? They've conceded 38 points. UCL have conceded 132. Does that impact
your 3 fucking games?
In 3 games, they've conceded 132 points.
Just start rebuilding for next season. Come on, Kingston. Give me Kingston. I was going to say Kingston already, but I didn't know the score difference, like the point differentials. That just says we're coming to piss about and not play. Fun day out in the lads kind of energy.
Sorry, I had to mention that going into the game. It had to be done.
I still would have been Kingston, but it would have been like, I'd have been a bit more hesitant before you said that. Just a little bit more hesitant. But once you said that, I mean, it's a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah. So that's all the games done in Division 1. Let's move on to Division 2 just to finish off with. So Hull in the Northeastern, Hull Sharks against Sunderland Spartans was postponed. You actually picked a tie in this one because there still hasn't been a win in the North in the Northeastern Division 2 yet this season. Still no wins.
Do I get a point for the postponement? Because technically neither team won. So
well, we'll see what happens with it. But that's crazy. It's week 6 going into week 7, and there hasn't been a win yet in that division. Honestly, crazy.
I don't think anyone from that division should be allowed to go playoffs.
No.
If you don't win a game, you can't go to the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're undefeated and you tie all your games. If you don't win, you can't go to the playoffs. That should be the rule.
Yeah. I can't really disagrey with that too much. And looking to the games next week, YSJ York St John playing their first game of the season. Hey, we should have like a little thing that comes up on the screen when teams play their first game of the season this late into the season. Some teams have already played over half their games, and YSJ have not played a game yet, but they are playing this weekend. So if you're in.
We've got teams that are 4-0, and I'm pretty sure there's teams that are 4-0, 2-2. I mean, there's a 1-3 in there somewhere. They're playing their 5th games this week. How can you be starting your season?
I know. And so York, it's the York Derby. York Centurions against York St John. YSJ Centurions Jaguars. My dad's up in York this week working, so I'm thinking I'm going to send him to this game to go and watch, and hopefully we'll see a win in Northeastern 2. Who are you putting your money on, YSJ or York Centurions? York Centurions are top of the league with 20 points scored, 20 points conceded, 2 draws in 2 played. Who's your money on?
Give me a tie.
You're taking a tie.
I want a
I
tie.
respect that. I respect that so much. I'm going to go YSJ. They've been waiting a long time. They're going to come out firing. So York St John for me in this one.
If someone has to win, I'd reluctantly pick Centurions. Only because where are we now? What year are we now? 2025. 8 years ago, where I was playing for the Burners, we won the this was Div 2 back in the day. We won the championship. We went on tour, we went to Croatia. I was on a boat party and I met a bunch of people from York Centurions team. I don't remember a thing they said. I don't remember anyone's names. I just remember we were turning up and there's a bunch of guys wearing York Centurions outfits. They were like, "Oh, you guys are the Bruno Burners. Congrats on winning and stuff." And like, okay, cool. I was pretty weird the whole time. I don't remember anything else. I just remember seeing people there. So purely for that, if I have to pick someone, I'll pick them. But I'll go for a tie.
No, that's respectable. That's respectable. It's always good to have a reason why. I'm gonna go for YSJ in that one. Let's have a look to the other division. So in the Midlands division, really tight game over in Cambridge. Pythons 13, Anglo Ruskin Siege 14. So a 1 point game in that one. Looks like it was an extra point to secure the win in the end.
I feel like I took Pythons on this one as well.
Let's see. You did. You did take Pythons. I took Anglo Ruskin in this one.
Purely because we played Ruskin once and they were just so bad. I've never played Cambridge and I played Anglia Ruskin once and it was just.
And now they're
purely based on that game from like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't want them to win.
And now they're 3-0, and that was the Cambridge derby as well because Anglia. I always say Angela Ruskin. It's Anglia Ruskin. Sorry, Anglia Ruskin is based in Cambridge, so a little Cambridge derby for that one, and it is the not the BTEC uni, but the slightly lesser established university that comes out on top in that one in the American football. So Cambridge go to 2-1.
Varsity against.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, let's have a look at the other game in the division, which was Coventry Jets, who won 34-9 against Lincoln Colonials. Pretty strong win for the Coventry Jets. Do you know what's wild?
What?
Guess I heard about Coventry Jets this weekend. Apparently, they didn't throw one pass all game.
They didn't throw a single pass all game?
They didn't throw a single pass all game, and apparently they had 400 yards of rushing offense.
So what the fuck was the other team doing? Just standing there,
playing the pass. Probably, I don't know.
How do you not pass the ball?
Lincoln are sat there thinking they've got to pass it at some point, and they just did that for the entire game. That is crazy.
Honestly, it baffles me because it's like you play the pass, right? They run the ball. Okay. They run the ball again. They run the ball again. They run the ball again. They keep running the ball. We're into the third quarter. They haven't passed the ball yet. Why are you still playing the pass? They've run for 300 yards at this point.
This is a time for the offensive line because I know that throughout that game they were blowing. They were blowing during that game. They're playing the run every time, and they just go on, just give us one pass so we can just stay and just hold this guy for a second. Don't make us move, please. But shout out the O-line because they clearly, every we know running backs, they give their love. Sometimes maybe not as much as they should to the running back to the offensive line. But yeah, shout out to the Coventry Uni Jets in that one. Which means let's have a look at the fixtures going next week. So Anglo Ruskin away at DMU next week, so potential to sort of.
Sorry to cut you off, but I just had to say from Gary, I know Cambridge is varsity against Oxford. Obviously, Oxford and Cambridge had their history thing, but I'm talking about Anglia Ruskin. Who's their varsity against? That's what I wanted to know because I know obviously Oxford Brooks are against Reading because Oxford against Cambridge. I don't know who Anglia Ruskin's thing is. Also, we got a little bit of love for you as well.
The biggest what if in football. Is that saying that?
I don't know.
Well, I'm. Hold on. You said I'm the biggest what if.
I don't know.
I'll
one of your mates.
That's a compliment. That is a compliment.
I'm saying, what if he was American? He would be in the NFL.
Or what if I didn't get injured? I might have actually contributed a bit more. Okay, let's have a look down. And we have let's have a look at the fixtures for next week. DMU currently 0-2, only scored 6 points in 2 games so far, going against Anglia Ruskin, who are top of the division. Are you taking Anglia Ruskin in this one, Kwame?
Yeah, I think I've seen enough from them to be convinced that they can beat a winless team. I mean, I'm still the fact that I was basing the previous prediction of them based on a game that I was part of about what 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
That says it.
it's harsh to judge them on that.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm kind of glad that they proved me wrong because of that. I'm glad that they proved me wrong, and now because of that, as a reward, not as a reward, but like as a way of saying, look,
Rewarding.
I've turned the new leaf.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
going to
sorry.
predict Anglia Ruskin to win
Yeah, nice. Okay,
convincingly as well.
so yeah, Anglia Ruskin, I'll take in that one as well. Just the one game in the southwestern second division. Hold on, are you laughing at a comment?
No. I'm laughing because there's something on another screen, and it's just caught my eye. But,
Okay, because I can't see the comments when I'm going through looking at the tables. I'm just wondering what you were laughing at. But
the comments are the same. There's the last comment that came through was the last one from Gary. I was just looking at Keenan Dewsbury Hall has just scored an absolute banger.
Oh really? United 1-0 down.
Absolute banger. And they're down to 10 men as well.
Oh no. So in the southwestern second division, Bath Spa Bulldogs 0, Swansea Titans 54. Now, this was Bath Spa's first game of the season, and so they've been training for 2 months now, and they still weren't ready. tough performance against the Swansea Titans, who go to 2-0, only conceded 2 points. So hold on, they've only conceded 2 points, and that was a safety. So wasn't even the defense's fault. On defense, they haven't conceded a point this year. Swansea looking reasonably strong again, although they're yet to play the UE Bullets. So it's looking like it's a fairly open division between possibly Swansea and UE in that one.
Caught me off guard because I know Swansea Titans used to play the other UE Bullets, and now they're playing the second UE Bullets.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It was a bit of a crazy one to get relegated twice in 2 years, and now you're back against the Bullets again. But
yeah,
the interesting one. I couldn't call this one right now. I need to know more. Do you know what? I've said before that the B teams are doing impressive, and I'm going to back the Bullets twos just because B teams are looking impressive so far.
Yeah. As an ex-UE and ex-Cardiff, there's absolutely no way I'm taking Swansea over UE ever. So yeah. I'm backing the Bullets twos to pull through this year and hopefully get promoted. It'd be great to see them in Division 1. So the game next week in sorry?
I said it'd be good to see them in Div 1. Green are in Div 1 as well, aren't they? Not them Green.
Yeah, they are. They might, we don't know. UE are one of those teams where they could get put in any division, really, in the West, the Midlands, or the Southern. Could be anywhere. Let's have a look at the fixture for next week. So it's Gloucestershire against Worcester. Worcester Royals against Gloucestershire Gladiators. Worcester are 0-2. Gloucestershire 1-1. Who are you taking here, Kwame?
Give me Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire?
Yeah, give me Gloucestershire. I know some of their definitely former, I don't know if they're still current, but former/current coaching staff.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know maybe 1 or 2 guys that used to play for them, but again, this is going back like 6-7 years. So I can't keep basing my opinions of teams based off what I saw in like 1993 because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, fairs. Okay, moving on now. I'll take. Oh, sorry, just quickly. What was that game we were just talking about? Worcester against Gloucester. I'll take Worcester in that one. I'll take Worcester. Okay, going on to the Southern Division, we had just the one game as Royal Holloway we spoke about earlier against Chichester was postponed because of an angry groundsman. So it was Surrey Stingers against Sussex Saxons, and I picked Surrey in this one. You picked Sussex. Surrey came out on top, 16 points to 8.
Yeah, caught me off guard there. Again, I've previously played against both teams in like many moons ago, many millennia ago. I think one of the teams might have had Jesus playing for them. But I don't really know what to say other than I guess I picked the wrong team.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, it was both of this team's first game of the season as well.
Yeah,
pretty impressive to get to here.
I can't complain about being wrong about that, to be fair.
No, and no games in this division next week, which means we go over to the Southeastern Division 2, where there were no games this week, but there are 2 next week. We've got Essex Blades against QMBL Vipers. Let's just take a little look at the league and see where everyone is. So Essex Blades are 0-2, and QMBL are 1-1. Who do you like in this one, Kwame?
Purely based on record, just give me Queen Mary.
Yeah, okay.
I know Essex can be dangerous, but
yeah, and there's not a lot in it in this league. It's quite a tight league. No team has scored more than 31 points in total so far this year, and no team has conceded more than 38. So again, expecting a close game in this one. You know, I'm going to go with the Blades. I'm going to go with Essex to get their season off and running and get a win here after having 2 losses so far. And finally, the only other game in the division is Imperial Immortals against Greenwich Mariners. Imperial are 2-0. Greenwich are 0-1-1. Who are you taking in this one?
Based on what I said for the previous one, because they had a better record, I should pick Imperial, but I'm going to pick Greenwich.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick Greenwich. Again, no reasoning. They share a ground with the London Warriors. They don't share any players with them or coaches. It's just, I've been to Imperial a few times and just left unhappy. So I'm picking.
So you're taking Greenwich. Okay, I'll take Imperial. And so that concludes our live stream here on the Rundown today. So we can actually go to the scores from last week. Myself and Kwame did all our predictions. Kwame got 14 out of 20. I got 15 out of 20. However, I did give you an extra point for calling a tie that was postponed. So, so you can question, it didn't affect the result, but you can question whether that was fair or not. But Kwame, thank you ever so much for your time this week. Good luck to your boys next week.
Likewise.
I'll be at the game, and I'll be doing as much as I can to make sure that you have a very, very unhappy Sunday.
I will be doing as much as I can to make sure I have a very happy Sunday, and I will try to get under your skin as much as possible.
Thank you ever so much. Well, thanks for your time, Kwame, and speak to you next week.
And you too. Thank you to all the viewers. See you later.
See you guys.